I have just finished filming this cookie dough here. It's a fail, but that's not why we're here. Can we talk about what buttercream is? Not in a very serious way, but if you enjoy baking and you're new to baking, perhaps I hope this video will be some sort of help to you. It's just a quick thought that has crossed my mind a lot more so lately, because in my live sessions I get a ton of questions about the subject of buttercream, and generally I am very surprised about the recurrent questions that I get a lot about the subject of buttercream. But one I get a lot is how to stabilize buttercream in hot weather climates or different stuff like that. And I can't say I have all the answers, but I thought I wanted to touch on the subject of buttercream in a way that sort of streamlines what buttercream is, its uses, and how you can get the best out of it. I've also gone ahead to create an audio style version of this subject, as in a podcast style, that is up on the channel, just so that all the information about buttercream in its generalized form is created in an organized format, so that you can listen to it and glean yourself some useful information for better understanding on the subject of buttercream. But on that basis, I'm just going to jump into generally what buttercream is. Buttercream is a necessary accompaniment to cake. Do you need to have it with your cake? Not necessarily, because whilst buttercream is a filling for cakes, it's not the only desired filling for cakes. You can stick with ganache or other types of frosting. Mark the word frosting, because buttercream is a style of frosting, but depending on who you are listening to, frosting may be used synonymously with buttercream. Having said that, I think of buttercream like the way I think about my burger sauces. So think about your burger and the type of sauces that go with it. We all like different sorts of sauces to match with our burgers. Some would prefer ketchup, mayo, barbecue, mustard. I tend to add a little bit of mayo to ketchup where I can, but my absolute go-to is barbecue or sweet chili to go with a gourmet burger. Right now we're not talking burgers, we're talking buttercream. So if you think about buttercream as a burger sauce, buttercream becomes the sauce that goes into your cake. The other function of buttercream that is less talked about is that it serves to hold cake layers together when you layering the cake and building the cake up. But just as we have different types of sauces to go with the burger, we have different types of buttercream that matches different style of cakes. Why is buttercream also known as frosting? I don't know the answer for sure, but this is what I know based on the little research I found. Geographical location, cultural interpretations of the word. But if we delve into the word frosting, frosting is like an umbrella under which buttercream comes in. So to define frosting generally, that is if we're not using it synonymously with buttercream, frosting is described by its characteristics in that it is whipped, it has a fat base, it has some sugar, and sometimes has some liquid to it. It describes more the thing that buttercream looks like. But here's the thing with frosting in its characteristics. The fat base means that you can either have butter or its equivalent, which in this case may be shortening, which is not butter. So when you say frosting, it also includes buttercream, but includes other types of decorative elements used on cakes that doesn't necessarily have butter in them. Have I confused you enough? Okay, let's move on to why the use of the word is used interchangeably. It is used interchangeably because there is also a cultural element, but generally it's because sometimes, and this is one of the other reasons, that sometimes people don't have the general understanding of the terms because they are not in the industry and do lack the general understanding of specific words that are industry based. Now, how many types of buttercream do you have? I can't seem to find an exact number. I counted 8 and then we got to 10. So I'm going to try. We have American buttercream, we have Italian buttercream, we have Swiss meringue buttercream, we have German buttercream, we have Airman buttercream, we have, okay, I counted 6 here. But I know in the podcast style we derived 9, which included Korean buttercream. But in my research for Korean buttercream, it seemed like Korean buttercream was closer in characteristics and method to Swiss meringue buttercream. So I suspect that is an adapted form of Swiss meringue buttercream. So does it make it 9 buttercreams? I don't think so. Now let's talk about buttercream stability. Whew. That's a question I have got a lot, especially the question about how we can stabilize buttercream for use in warmer climates. Here's what I know about buttercream, that even the most stable of buttercream, when we compare it on the buttercream stability spectrum, at the moment in time, scientifically, Italian buttercream stands as the most, like the best in terms of stability and how long it will sustain. But I don't suspect its sustainability is durable for an all-day event. You're going to have some moments where it can sustain to a certain reasonable extent before it gives away, and that is because of the melting point of butter. Butter has a specific melting point. That means that when it comes into contact with heating temperatures, at some point the structure will begin to break. As a result, any buttercream that you get on the market will never guarantee an excessive amount of heat to sustain it. Never. So is there a buttercream that will reasonably sustain to a reasonable amount? Yes, especially a reasonable amount of time. Do I know that buttercream? No. Storing buttercreams is very straightforward, I will say, but I've always maintained that however you store your buttercream, the storage environment is the key to determining the quality, because butter can preserve for longer periods. You can freeze buttercream for months or refrigerate for weeks, and whatever buttercream you are making, it can keep for days in the fridge and weeks without any problems. The quality remains exactly the same. The thing that affects buttercream quality generally, besides the quality of butter as a determining factor on the outcome of your recipe, is actually the environment within which it keeps. Because when you store buttercream in an environment where there are stronger smelling substances, it tends to absorb those substances, and then eventually it will take the smell of those substances. But my point is, just make sure your fridge or storage space is clean and devoid of any strong smelling substances, and it's probably exclusively going to save your buttercream well. Sometimes the best way is to line a sealed tub with a plastic liner, portion your buttercream and then seal label it and then freeze it. Other times you can easily spread the buttercream in cling film, wrap them in flat ways that will guarantee some storage space in your fridge, and yes, that should help you. But I have compiled all this information in a podcast style video for you to watch. I'll link it up here.